Can you remember a time when you felt truly happy? Can you recall a moment when excitement coursed through you, filling your entire being with a sense of aliveness and joy? You know, the kind of excitement where everything just feels light and easy, as if the world is full of possibility, and you can simply float through it all. Now, just as you think of that moment, notice what happens to your body. Feel how your posture changes, how your breath naturally becomes a little more relaxed, a little more expansive. You may begin to notice how your whole energy shifts, effortlessly aligning with that state of happiness. Isn't it interesting that simply recalling an experience like this can change how you feel in the present? So as you're feeling that shift, I wonder if you can allow yourself to consider something. Have you ever noticed how sometimes, in moments of stress or discomfort, you can switch your focus with a simple thought or gesture? For example, imagine a time when something was difficult, but you found a way to shift your thinking, or perhaps even your posture, and in that instant, things began to feel different. Maybe you even laughed at yourself for getting stuck in the old pattern. Now, you might be aware that the more you let go of those old limiting beliefs, the easier it becomes to tap into the energy of those states that you want to experience more of. In fact, just by remembering a time when you found yourself laughing at a situation, you can automatically realize you have the power to choose how you react in any given moment. Isn't it true, the more you simply relax and allow yourself to be present, the more you find everything flows naturally? And when you think about this, how interesting is it that there's always a choice, isn't there? You might find, by just adjusting the way you hold your body, by softening your stance, your energy shifts. Maybe you've even noticed that when you shift your energy, the world around you responds in kind. When you can see this connection, you realize how simple it really is to control your state, how incredibly powerful it can be to take ownership of your emotional energy, no matter what is going on outside of you. Now, I want you to notice something. Have you ever felt unsure or overwhelmed by a decision, and then suddenly, by simply asking yourself, what's the easiest and most fun choice here? Things just became clear. It's almost as though you instinctively know the answer, like something in you just clicks into place. And maybe in that moment you remembered there is always at least 3 solutions to every problem. With a simple shift of your mind, you find new possibilities opening up. You can even see those options one after the other without needing to worry, because you know you're the one in control just by making that choice. And as you reflect on that, I wonder, when you let go of needing to control everything, when you simply allow things to unfold, things often begin to work out much better than you expected, don't they? When you give yourself permission to stop overthinking, and instead to focus on what you can do, it's almost like the path ahead just becomes easier, clearer. You feel lighter, more confident, and most of all, more present. Notice now how you can remember a time when you didn't feel the need to explain yourself. Can you recall a moment when you spoke your truth without hesitation, with complete clarity and confidence? You might find as you think about that time, your posture shifts, and you feel a little more grounded, a little more in tune with your own power. In fact, the more you practice speaking your truth, the more comfortable and natural it becomes. What's even more interesting is, when you speak your truth with calm confidence, others seem to accept it, just as easily as they accept the truth within themselves. And the more you practice this, the more you become aware of how powerful your presence truly is. It's not about needing approval from others, but rather just expressing your own truth with ease, and then seeing how that truth resonates with the world around you. Because you know, your world is truly a reflection of your beliefs. And the more you believe in your own strength and worth, the more you see that reflected in the world, don't you? You see, the world is full of feedback, and the more you see it as feedback rather than truth, the easier it becomes to stay open to possibilities. No more need to be stuck in limiting beliefs. No more need to worry about the past or fear the future. Instead, you can simply respond to life as it comes, choosing to see the best possible outcomes, knowing it'll get better and better. Because isn't it fascinating how quickly you can turn things around with just a little shift in your focus? For example, when you feel a negative emotion rising, you can interrupt it just like that with a simple question. Isn't it true everything is working out in my favour? Or perhaps, what can I learn from this moment right now? And the more you practice asking these questions, the more natural it becomes, doesn't it? And each time you do this, you begin to feel your emotional state shift, just like flipping a switch. And as you feel that shift, notice how your body becomes even more relaxed, how your thoughts then naturally start to flow more easily, and how you no longer need to overthink or worry about anything. You've learned the art of interrupting your own patterns, the art of shifting your energy with ease. It's almost like a game that you play with yourself, isn't it? And the more you play, the more fun it becomes. And this, I wonder, is where you realise the magic of it all. Every time you interrupt an old thought, an old habit, an old feeling, you open up a space for something new, something better. Isn't it true you can choose to be playful, to enjoy life, to have fun, no matter what's going on around you? You can laugh, you can dance, you can feel that joy and excitement every day, just by choosing to engage with life in a new way. As you do this, you notice the more playful you become, the more others they're drawn to your energy, your presence, your authenticity. Now take a moment to let all this sink in. And as it does, I want you to remember, every pattern you create, you can change. And you can change it with ease. Every time you interrupt your old patterns, you give yourself the freedom to choose something new, something more empowering, something that serves you better. And each time you do this, you become stronger, more confident, and more in control of your emotional state. In fact, each and every time you let go of an old pattern and replace it with something more in alignment with the person that you want to be, you become that person more fully, more completely. You become the creator of your own reality effortlessly. So I wonder, how do you use this new power that you've gained to move forward? What will you choose to create next? Notice how easy it is to access that space of play, fun and creativity whenever you want. Because you've already done it. You've already shifted your focus. You've already interrupted the patterns that no longer serve you. And now you're free to be the person you've always known that you could be. Because isn't it interesting how much easier it is to be who you want to be when you interrupt the patterns that hold you back? And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. And I wonder how much more fun and joy you'll experience just by using this simple skill. And now I leave you with this thought. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you feel stuck, you know exactly what to do. You just ask yourself, what's the most fun, playful choice I can make right now? And in that moment, you'll feel it. Your energy will shift. And you'll be moving in the direction of your highest potential.